My phone has been ringing off the hook today. It will probably ring while I'm making this video. And I am crazy. I've been through this before. You're probably going through it. Everybody I talk to is going through it. The problem is that the economy apparently is so bad that people are doing anything they can to make money, which includes driving the rest of us crazy. Well, if it'll give you any hope, let me tell you a little story. About 2, maybe 3 years ago, this was happening. We were getting anywhere between 10 and 20 phone calls a day from telemarketers. How this started, and this may help you a little bit, how this started was that we got a thing in the mail telling us that there had been a water leak a couple blocks away from us, and the Florida Water Company was coming around to check everybody's water that wanted them to come. Was no charge to it, to make sure that our water was safe, because some things might have gotten in the water to make us sick. Well, that sounded reasonable. So we called him up and they came over. This man, nice older man, suspenders, good old boy, all that stuff. He came in and he started testing our water and this, that, and the other. Before he was done, he was telling us that our water was totally contaminated, and the only kind of thing that was going to fix it was some kind of oxygenated machine, and it was going to cost $3,000 to have, but once we had that, we would be safe, and blah, blah, blah. And of course, we realized that it was a scam. So we got him out of the house, but I was upset that he did this. He was taking advantage. There had been a water leak, so that's what made it seem real. So I got a hold of the proper authorities and I contacted them, never realizing that they were going to send him a copy of my complaint with my name, my address, and my phone number on it. This is the government. The local government did this. Well, after that is when the calls started. One after another after another. It was making us crazy. So what I did was, of course, I signed up for the do not call and all that. But I also started keeping track. I started keeping a chart of, when the calls came, the time of day they came, the phone number they came from, and so forth. And I was reporting every one of them. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. But I kept it up, and it took a long time. It probably took me, maybe 6 months, till I got some action on it. Because little did I know that it takes about 10,000 complaints against the same phone number before the government will do anything about it, which makes it almost useless. So anyhow, I continued on with that, but the phone calls continued coming. So then I found a website called DianaMay.com that tells all about the telemarketing thing, and it was a pretty interesting lesson about that. First of all, most of what I see when people make videos like this is that they want to get even with the person making the call. What they don't know is that the person making the call is a minimum wage worker just trying to earn a living. It's all they know how to do. They put them in there for whatever it is, $10 an hour, $8 an hour, to make these phone calls to put up with this stuff. So when you're getting even with that person, you're not getting even with the person that's really causing the problem. You're getting even with a low-level worker. I did call back a telemarketer on one of these calls, and I told him, I said, you need to stop calling. He says, I'll call as much as I want. I'll call you twice as much now that you've called me back. And he did. And I was just going crazy. Anyhow, I kept on. Despite all that, I then got the idea. There's a way you can put, that little do-do-do when you call somebody. Well, there's a way you can record that off of the internet, and you can put it onto your phone so that when your phone picks up, it does that. And when they're making their automatic robocalls, it makes them think that that number is out of order, so they don't call again. So I did that for a while. Then I turned off I covered all the speakers and everything on the phone so we couldn't hear the phone ring. I did everything. I told all my friends, call, leave a message, I'll call you back. I'm not picking up the phone. Finally, after all that, I got a letter from an attorney in Tallahassee telling me that they had caught the people. I knew who the people were by this time. I had done research. They had caught the people, and they were trying them, and they were sending them to jail. And guess what? All of my telemarketing phone calls stopped. Now, they stopped for a long time, and then slowly they started coming back again. And it wasn't too bad, but lately it's gotten really bad again. I really don't want to go through all that again. So I contacted my phone company, and they put something on my phone called No Mo Robo, which is supposed to stop all of the robot calls, or whatever they're called, from coming through. Well, it stopped some of them. Then it will ring the phone just one time if it's an unknown number. So it does that. So now the phone's ringing that one time. Here's the whole crux of the problem. The government is supposed to be doing something about this. So far, I have yet to see them doing anything. These companies make huge amounts of money. They're happy to pay the fines. They don't care. So there's not really a good way to stop them unless you give up your landline, use only your cell phone, and keep your cell phone off most of the time. Then you won't have to worry about the ringing, or you won't have to worry about the follow-up or whatever. That is the only way I can think of to fix this problem. It's not ideal. Some people need their phones more than others, but it is a way to stop the phone from ringing and interrupting you at every second. So just remember that the do not call stuff does work if enough people actually make the reports. And you have to keep at it, to get it done. It will get it done eventually, but it will come back because there is just too much money involved in it to make it go away. But anyhow, at least I sent them a couple guys to jail, and I was pretty happy about that. Good luck.